Here we go. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, Hannah.
This is very weird.
I
Yeah.
can see you.
I know. Welcome
This
to
is
our
weird.
first video podcast.
Guys, this is weird.
This is so weird.
I'm still like, where do I look?
Yeah. Do I look at the camera? Do I look at myself? Do I look at Steph? I don't so bear with us while we learn how to be video podcasters.
Give us a little bit of grace on this one, guys.
You know,
We'll
we're learning.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, we'll share some behind the scenes photos because if you could see how long it took us to get set up and to then be like, is this a good angle? How's my hair look? Is this okay? Like,
It's
the
been
joke
an hour.
is, yeah, give us a
Yeah.
few episodes and we probably won't give a shit what we look like when we show
it's going to
up.
be like a pajama messy bun episode in 3 or 4. Let's be honest.
Yeah, 100%. But at least for the first one, you get Hannah and Steph with makeup
Right?
and like
Nice
really
to
kind of
see
look
you.
presentable.
With like ring lights and
I
love
know.
it.
I have like the office lit up. There is a dog in here, so enjoy the distractions when he gets up and down. But you know, Bo gets to be in here for the day, so
I love it.
it's
I kicked mine out.
That's okay.
I
Listen,
kicked everybody out.
I was gonna kick everyone out, and then the cat wanted in, so the cat's in here somewhere. Bo's in here. It's just
It's gonna be a
easier.
good time.
Yeah, keep the brood in the room is
Right?
easier.
I love it. It's gonna be a good time. No, I kicked the whole family out. The dog's out there probably crying somewhere.
I love
It's
it.
fine.
Hey,
Right?
listen, Saturdays are podcast days, so for those who don't know, we record on Saturdays.
I love it.
Cool.
We'll
Welcome
get
to episode
into
5 of the Bariatric Banter
Already.
Podcast. Now,
Can't believe it's
live and in
episode
living
5.
color.
Can't believe it's 5.
I know. I can't believe we're on 5. I can't believe now we are doing video, so you will be seeing us
Right.
every week. You can still catch us streaming on every platform. Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. We love iHeartRadio because you're now our biggest download and streaming service.
I love it.
Crazy. I love it. So hello,
We've hit
American.
the big time.
And now you'll find us on YouTube. So wherever you want to watch or listen, we're trying to be everywhere so that, you know, you can choose the format that you'd like. And also so that you can put faces to names for those of you who don't know Steph and I. This is who we are. This is what we look like. You know, we look different than we did a couple of years ago, but
Right? You can see the faces we make when we talk about things that get us really riled up.
No.
When we're typically sitting behind the camera, all
My
gonna
face.
come out.
My face is going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. I get
That's
heated
okay.
a lot.
It's true. But that's, you know what? This is the real deal, guys. So
Yeah, raw and unfiltered.
we'll get into the groove in a couple
We will.
episodes.
Listen, I've cut my swearing down substantially, so
I
you
was
are all
impressed.
welcome.
I was impressed. You did a good
You're
job.
welcome.
I think I swore more in the last episode than you did.
Hey, you were passionate in the last episode, so
This one's a good one too,
what do you
though.
say? Got to give you grace.
Right? This is a good one.
This
There'll
is a
be
good
some
one. This
passionate
week on
moments, too.
episode 5, we are going to talk PCOS, or as I call it, PCOS, and comorbidities, which I will mispronounce this entire episode.
You did it.
I
You
know.
did it.
Because it's right in front of me, and I always call it comorbidities, but it's comorbidities. So we're going to talk about PCOS, comorbidities, and bariatric surgery together, and kind of what we mean by comorbidities for those who don't know. Comorbidities are kind of health issues that you have that can absolutely lead to death. Now, they're not really going to cause you to die instantly, but they're 2 or more medical conditions that occur at the same time within your body that can really impact your health and outlook. And what they mean by outlook is it increases your risk of death. And it's all about lifestyle changes when it comes to comorbidities. So comorbidities are not something that you've inherited through your genes or things that you have no control over. These are things that have directly happened to you because of your lifestyle. Things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetes. Now, yes, does this run in families? Sure. But they specifically would look at, did you develop this because of your lifestyle, not because of your genes? So that's what comorbidities are. I'm not a doctor, so there's probably somebody being like, she butchered that so badly. But comorbidities are basically things that take away from your life expectancy that are within your control. So we're going to go through.
We're going to talk about them.
And bariatric surgery because, shocker, spoiler alert, Steph and I both have PCOS, and Steph and I also both had / have comorbidities. And so we kind of wanted to cover what did that look like before surgery and give you guys an update on what it looks like now after surgery.
Love it.
Yeah. So I covered what comorbidities are.
Yes.
Boy, for someone who cannot pronounce that word,
You did a great
I'm
job.
going to have to consistently keep saying it this
You
podcast.
did a
But
great job.
Steph, maybe you want to cover what is PCOS, or as I affectionately love to call it, PCOS.
Yeah. So at a high level, we'll keep it high level. PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So it's when on your ovaries you have cysts. So you can see these typically on an ultrasound. The thing with PCOS is there's no definitive test. And the reason I say that is because not everybody will show multiple cysts on an ultrasound all the time, or at all. There's a lot of symptoms that go into PCOS. So there are a lot of people who have undiagnosed PCOS. There's a lot of people who don't get diagnosed until later. But basically what it is cysts on your ovaries. And that can impact hormones. It can impact fertility. It can lead to weight gain, hair in places you don't want hair. You saw my Instagram stories this morning. You'll notice I even called it on my stories. I forgot to shave my lovely ones this morning. So I did that for you today. Now. But it's so bad. And so it is basically an overarching diagnosis that has a lot of symptoms within it. So for me, I was diagnosed with PCOS, but I rarely had multiple cysts on my ovaries on ultrasound, but I had all the other symptoms that fell in place. So it's different for everybody. A lot of women are undiagnosed. And there is no magic cure for PCOS either.
I think this episode will honestly just become all about PCOS, because it is just such a huge topic we need to cover. And maybe we'll just cover comorbidities in its own, because there's like a million to cover there. But I think that's the big thing when I first learned about it, which was later in life, by the way. I only learned about it because I was having an ultrasound of my kidney, because I only have one working kidney. And while I was there, they were like, hey, maybe we should just do you want to get a pap test done while you're here and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. They were running some sort of clinic and blah, 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 blah. So, okay, we're going to do that. And I had both, I had the speculum, all that stuff, but then they did an ultrasound when they were in there just for good measure. And they were like, ooh. Whoa. And I was like, oh, what? They were like, you have a ton of cysts on your ovaries. And I was like, okay, I also have them in my kidney, and I seem to be doing fine. So I had no idea what it was. It was later in life, but then it all kind of started adding up. But the one thing that really bugged me was I would start Googling it, and boy, did I find a ton of people being like, here's how you cure it. Here's how you cure it. Here's how you cure it. Here's how do you cure it. And there is no one solution to fix it. This is...
There's things to help, but
there are things to help, and we'll talk about weight loss surgery, but none of it is nobody said to me, oh, if you have weight loss surgery, it's going to totally cure your PCOS. And nobody said that. Yeah. But when I would go see certain people, they absolutely kind of tried to sell me on, oh yeah, this is what you need. This will cure it. And it's cure it? If I have cysts on my ovaries, won't the cysts always be on my ovaries without surgery? Do they just go away? Because I have a feeling if they kind of go away, it's probably painful. That's probably because they burst. So I just remember there were too many people telling me there's quick fix, quick solution, spearmint tea, metformin. The big thing was the diets. Everything I was seeing online was diets will fix PCOS. And there wasn't any studies or enough people that had specialized in this, which was shocking because once I was diagnosed with it, it's everyone I knew was oh yeah, I have that too.
I have that.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yep.
For me, I did have symptoms, but obviously we didn't know what those symptoms were, right? I have male doctors, and don't get me wrong, Dr. Singh is a fucking G. I love him. He's great. This was before I had him, but it was a lot of oh, you have anxiety. Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. The amount of times I was told, stress. You have anxiety. And then they'd be like, why don't you start anxiety medication? And I'd sit in this office and go, I don't think this is anxiety. I don't think I'm bad enough to need medication. They made me anxious because then I started to have health-related anxiety where I thought there was something wrong with me. But my symptoms were I was going an entire year where I'd have one period. Before that, I had a period that wouldn't end, and it lasted months, which was just like horrible in your, mid to late 20s to be
Oh my
like,
gosh, yeah.
this is quite disgusting. How do I live a normal life? Like a
Yeah.
single girl that, 3
Hey.
months on her period. Okay. I then had like solid years back to back where I just wasn't having it. And so a lot of it was like, well, you're overweight. Yep, I am. But I've been overweight my whole life and my period's never been this weird. So, okay. And then it was, well, it's anxiety. You need to be on anxiety medication. And I remember my mom was a nurse being like, do not fucking take that medication. Like, you don't need it. And not that she's against medication. She just knows me.
But in
And
your
she knew.
situation, you didn't need it.
Yeah, exactly. And she knows me. She's my mother.
Yeah.
Like, she knows you are not at that
You're not
level.
there.
And I luckily have a great therapist. And I remember saying to her, like, am I supposed to be on this medication? And she was like, you're like, no. And I was like, okay. She's like, if you need it, like, there's nothing wrong with it. But I remember her telling me at the time, like, you're one of like the least anxious people I see. And I was like, oh,
Perfect.
cool.
Perfect.
But boy, they make you spiral. So yeah, it was,
the
you're
stress.
overweight, you're fat, you got to lose weight. Then I was overweight. And then it was, you're anxious, take anxiety medication. Then it was, some women just have hormonal imbalances. Never once got sent for hormone testing, though. It's normal. And then they were like, oh, well, I guess if you haven't had it for 6 months, like, we're going to have to induce it because, it can lead to cancer. And I was like,
Oh, jeez.
do you know how
Here
long
we
it took
go.
but it took so long for someone to tell me that you could induce your period. Like, why was I waiting years to finally be told? Like, what happens is if you don't, sorry for the men listening, but if you don't have a period, the tissue will build up. And that tissue,
it doesn't just disappear.
That tissue is what can start to become cancerous if it doesn't leave your body. Again, I am no medical expert. This is just what I was told by my gynecologist. So when I finally got prescribed a gynecologist who was the best, she was like, oh my God, yes, you need to be doing this every month because you don't want that building up. I had to have the world's most excruciating procedure, a uterine biopsy. I wish this on no one. And she was like, we have no choice, Hannah. It's been years where I don't know what's growing and going on. And I have to be certain that there's not old tissue, scar tissue. Like, we have to. And I was like,
and they don't, note to men, they don't medicate you for these things.
oh no, you're not knocked out.
No.
You
Take
don't
some Tylenol.
Yep. I literally was told to take some Advil before I come in because it might be, quote, crampy. And there's nothing that happens to numb you or anything. And for those who don't know, they go up in you and cut a chunk out of you while you're awake.
Take a deep breath.
Yep. Oh, it's going to be a little bit of pressure. I threw up and then almost passed out in the car in the parking lot. Because, by the way, they were like, yeah, you can drive yourself to this.
Yeah,
should
you'll be
not
fine.
have driven myself to that.
No.
I called my mom and I cried. And I rarely cry. So I'm sure my mom thought, oh, God, she's dying. But I just remember thinking, I'll never have that procedure done again. You've got to be kidding. So I went back to my doctor and said, no, how do we fix this? I need to fix this now. This is absurd. So yeah, my experience with PCOS is that, I did have symptoms. I was having infrequent to no periods. I had to get induced with medication to start them. I had to have uterine biopsies. And then I was put on metformin, which did absolutely nothing for me. And then I was told, lose a ton of weight. And then if I want to have babies, I should just start having babies. It doesn't really matter if I found the right guy. If there's somebody in my life that I, is good enough, I'm not even shitting you. This is what I was told. If there's someone in my life that's good enough, I should start trying because it'll be really hard for me to have kids with this thing that I have. And I was like, hey, I'm here to fix my medical issue. I couldn't give a shit about starting a family. I would like to not get cancer.
Let's focus on the immediate.
I was so pissed. I was like,
crazy.
cool, thanks so much for
Thanks
this.
for that.
Thank you. Thank you so
ridiculous.
much.
I think I was 25,
28.
25-ish. I was 25-ish. 26. I was 26 because I got married when I was 25. And then decided we wanted to have kids. Cool.
Yeah.
And nothing was happening. Okay, I know it takes a while. Like, at least they say like within the first year, it takes a while, right? And then I started having random weird spotting, like mid-cycle, almost like clockwork out of nowhere. It's like, this is weird. So went to the doctor, and at this time I had a doctor who I despise. I'm so glad I got rid of this doctor. Anyway, I went to him and he's like, well, how long have you been trying? And I said, a couple months. And he's like, oh, well, he's like, you're young. And I was like, okay, but I said, I have a feeling something's not right. I said, I now have this weird random spotting. And he's like, yeah, again, you're fine. You got to wait at least a year. And I was like, no, something is not right. I just know it. Something is not right. He's like, okay, fine. I'll send you for some blood work to check your menstrual levels.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool. So he sent me for blood work. It came back a little bit off, but nothing crazy.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, that doesn't really help me with any answers. He's like, okay, I'm going to send you for an ultrasound and a scope. And I was like, oh, okay. So he sent me for the ultrasound, wait for the results. The next couple of days, I'm supposed to go for this scope at the hospital.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to me, I find out like the day before that the scope means they are going up in there.
Oh, yeah.
With like a little camera scopy thing.
Yeah. It's like a reverse colonoscopy.
Yeah. So I was not looking forward to this. I took time off work. I booked it off. I go. I'm by myself. I'm so nervous.
Oh.
I walk in, and the doctor who's doing it, like they're just basically like pumping people through this room getting scopes done.
Jeez.
And so I walk in, and the doctor, he's standing there like with a chart like this.
Yeah.
And I open the door, and he looks up at me, and he looks at the chart. He looks at me and looks at the chart. And he's like, are you Stephanie? And I was like, yeah. And so he goes, how old are you? I said, I'm 26. And he just literally could see him go,
oh.
He goes, come sit down.
Oh.
And I was like, what? He's like, you're not getting a scope today.
Oh.
And part of me was like, thank the Lord. But
yeah, right?
Part of me was like, I've been stressed out for days. I took time off work. I'm in a gown. And now you're telling me this isn't happening? Like, what the shit is going on?
Oh.
So we go and sit down. He goes, I'm sorry. He goes, I didn't even look at your file before you walked in the room. I just assumed people that are here should be here.
Yeah.
He's like, if I would have seen this, I would have canceled your scope before you even got here. And he's like, let's look at your file. Why are you here? So I told him. He goes, okay. He goes, you don't need a scope for that. I was like, okay. And then he goes, I have your ultrasound results here. Everything looks fine.
Okay.
He goes, except for the tumor.
Excuse me?
And I went, what? He goes, except for the tumor on your liver. And again, I just stared at him. He goes, I'm guessing you didn't know about that? I was like, no. He goes, it's nothing bad. He goes, it's a benign tumor. It's like not like a fatty tumor, but he goes, people get these all the time. They go away. Like, it's nothing to worry about. I'm like, well, I feel like I should still know it's there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I thank him. He was great. We talked about it. I left. I stormed back to work. My boss was like, why are you here? I was like, I'm going in. We had like personal call booth rooms.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll be back. So I went and I called the doctor's office, and the receptionist answered, and I loved her. But I said, Jennifer. And I lost it on her. And she apologized. She had no idea, whatever. So I went back to the doctor again, and I was like, this is bull. Like, you are referring me to a gynecologist. I said, we're getting Devin tested. And he's like, well, Devin's not my patient. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am your patient. You're sending me to a gynecologist. You're sending me to a fertility specialist, and you're getting Devin tested. So I got referred to a gynecologist. While I was waiting for that, we went to this one fertility clinic in Kitchener, which I will not name, but oh my God, I would never step foot in this door again.
I have some of those.
The worst doctor. So we got Devin tested, thank gosh, through her. Good. And then I went to see Dr. Potts in Kitchener. And honest to God, I walked into his office. He looked at the file. He looked at Devin's results. He looked at all my stuff, and he just looks me in the eye. He goes, where do you want to go? And I said, what? And it's now been like a year. He's like, where do you want to go? I was like, for what? He goes, for fertility treatment. You tell me and I'll send you. And I was like, thank God. Yeah. So anyway, we ended up going fertility place. And that's where I found out I had PCOS based on all my other testing.
Wow.
They were able to tell me within like my first appointment. He looked at me and he's like, okay, the weight obviously is a PCOS thing.
Yep.
He looked at my blood work levels. But then he said too, we talked about like tiredness and bloating and a bunch of other things that are common symptoms. Continuous fatigue, like all the time. And then he looked at me and he goes, I'm sorry for staring. He goes, but I'm looking for hair. And I was like, what? and he saw like, chin hair, hair like thicker than normal hair in here. And he goes, "Do you have hair on your thighs?" And I was like, "What?"
Oh,
He goes, "Like upper inner thigh area. Do you have dark hair? Not a lot, but like dark predominant hairs."
interesting. I'd
And I
never
said,
heard that
"Yeah."
one.
And he goes, "PCOS." Like right off the bat. And I was like, "What?" He goes, "You have PCOS." And instantly
Wow.
they checked my thyroid because often PCOS and thyroid are connected.
I got tested for that too,
Yep.
and it was negative.
It was fine at first.
Yeah.
So that was okay. But yeah, he instantly diagnosed me with PCOS.
Wow.
We started fertility treatments. We did 1 round of fertility treatments. That ended in miscarriage. That kicked my thyroid out of whack. So then I was on thyroid meds. But yeah, we did like a year of fertility stuff with this clinic who was phenomenal. But they're the ones who finally diagnosed PCOS, and then everything kind of started to make
Wow.
sense. I did sometimes have cysts, but not regularly.
Yeah.
It was only the odd time, but I had every other symptom in the book.
And they do
Across the board.
differ. Like
Yeah.
there is insulin resistant
I have that
PCOS.
too.
There's another one. Like I'm not an expert on that, but there are different types. So
Yeah.
I do know that the insulin resistance one closely mirrors diabetes in the sense that you can gain weight around your abdomen. You have like the swollen faces.
Yeah.
We'll post on Instagram some photos of before surgery, just so you could see what my face looked like, because that alone should have been enough.
Your face is so different.
It
I know, and
was
I always
so
had
swollen.
really full. I still do. Like I'm not as clearly as far in the process
Well, yeah,
as you
look,
are,
like,
but yeah. But I've always had a full round
yep.
face.
But
Always.
this was
Insulin resistant. Never
this
knew.
was really different, and I didn't notice at the time, but like,
Yeah, because you see it every day.
whoa, it was swollen. I think I just thought, hey, I'm fat, versus that's just not a fat face. Like that is a very and it caught up quick, and they put me on metformin because again, like I still don't know what type of PCOS I have because they never really tested. They just kind of assumed it was insulin. I actually don't think it is, for the fact that like metformin didn't work, kind of like the diet changes didn't really do much for me. The really annoying thing with PCOS that we can both attest to is that it makes it really difficult to lose weight, not impossible. And this is going to be, sorry, this is a really hot
Where
take
Hannah's
of
gonna
mine.
go.
I know, I'm really sorry. It makes it difficult, but not impossible. So I 100%, I think, because I was obese, was looking for a way to be like, I'm obese and it's not my fault. And so as soon as I got prescribed with PCOS, I was like, oh, cool. That's the reason I'm fat. Has nothing to do with anything else in my life. I have a medical issue and that's why I am fat. So I used it to justify, like, it's not me. It's not my eating habits. I'm clearly working out enough. And the truth is, like, does it make it difficult? Sure. I'd say for every 10 pounds someone without it can lose, you probably can lose 2. And that fucking blows. That really fucking blows.
Super demotivating.
But it is not the reason you're obese. It is not the reason I was 315 pounds. PCOS alone is not the reason.
And that's where the different diets come in, because they'll say like this diet is good for this time. And like I have insulin resistance PCOS for sure. And that's when I got looped into the keto, because everybody said
I
keto
tried
and
that
PCOS,
too.
keto and PCOS. And now I will say I did lose weight with keto. 100% I did. But one of the things that I have an issue with my insulin resistance and my PCOS is I will lose weight, like you said, very slow. But it will happen. But then I almost hit this plateau. And I can't get past the plateau. And it's almost as if I also have really high cortisol, which is another thing I found out.
Yeah, like, comes with it.
It's continually high all the time, which basically means, for anyone who doesn't know, your cortisol level should go up and down. It's your stress hormone. So there are times in the day or when you exercise that your cortisol will go up, and then it should come back down. Mine is always high. So my body is permanently panicked and stressed, which is great.
Which gets mistaken for anxiety, and then we get put on medication we don't
exactly.
Yep.
So I usually hit a plateau, and then I get like my body goes into extra panic mode, and then it's like, no, you're losing weight, stop, and tries to hold on to it, and it's really hard to get over that hump. Doable, but again, very hard.
It causes cravings.
Oh my gosh.
because of the
and
cortisol, your
Yeah.
body wants you to eat.
Yeah.
And there's this common theory. Oh,
Yeah.
God, everyone's going to hate me after this episode. There's this common theory called starvation mode, which is, your body is just so deprived that it's going to hang on to all the nutrients
Everything.
and keep you fat. Now, logically, you could be like, okay, but like if we starve prisoners of war and they lose weight,
Why are
or
they so
like if
skinny?
you were on, okay, let's have a nicer example. If you were on Naked and Alone or whatever that like Bear Gyles show is, or Survivor, right?
How come they lose so much weight?
They're not in starvation mode and they're not gaining weight.
Yeah.
Who's a fat survivor that you've seen? So like,
Right.
I don't disagree that there are things that kind of, can help hold on to weight. But
Yeah.
this notion that you've deprived your body or you've not eaten enough and that's the
Yeah.
reason,
No.
it's not. It
No.
is not
If-
scientifically a thing,
No.
guys.
It comes
We
down to not being sustainable. Like it's
No.
just the keto. And I know people personally who have done keto for a long time and have seen
Yeah.
great success. And that's great.
You always see success.
That's great. Yeah.
Yep.
But for me, not sustainable.
Not at all.
And they'll say low carb is good for PCOS. But again, for me, not sustainable. I'm sure we'll talk about this on another podcast so we don't go down the rabbit hole and do a 2-hour podcast. But it comes down to lifestyle changes, not diet. And it comes down to things that are sustainable, that are real life, that you can implement as a lifestyle change and continue on. And so that's where people with PCOS struggle, is because a lot of these diets that are supposed to help PCOS are not sustainable at all.
And you have to think, if you are insulin resistant, you really got to look at your diet and look at sugar. You got to almost think like you are a diabetic. No, I have diabetics in my family. Runs in my family on my dad's side. So they don't just track their sugar. They're not sitting there going, "Oh, how much sugar is in this?" It's carbs and sugar. Like there's a few things they have to look at to make sure they keep their sugars balanced. So that's the other thing when you have insulin resistant PCOS. And again, we're not medical experts. This is just based on the medical experts we've been dealing with having PCOS, having our own dietitians from the bariatric clinic, and our own internal medicine doctor, nurse, and surgeon from the clinic. They track carbs and sugar, and they have to make good choices for themselves to keep their insulin balanced. You do too. And the hard thing is a lot of women getting prescribed. There we go. A lot of women getting, I'm not even thinking of the right word, but basically being told you have this, are overweight to obese, and unfortunately aren't making good life choices. So if your body is already unbalanced and already teetering into high cortisol and insulin, do you think throwing yourself into keto and throwing your body into something that's so drastic is actually going to be sustainable and help you?
No.
Not really, because you're just adding more stress to a stressful situation. So one of the best pieces of advice I got from the clinic was, this will help with your PCOS because we're going to teach you how to re-eat. And also, don't be afraid of cardio. Blah, blah, blah. When it comes to the diets on Instagram that we're told to do for PCOS, it's
don't do cardio.
You gotta be no carb, you gotta be keto, you gotta get that high fat in there. Oh, spearmint tea.
Only weight.
Fucking hate spearmint tea. It's so gross. And then you need to get metformin and this other thing that you buy off the internet. Oh, and then you need to eat whole seeds, like just a scoop of hemp seeds. Like, first of all, oh my God.
Disgusting.
And then it was, you need to move really slow. You shouldn't be doing cardio. You need to just lift 5-pound weights and go really slow. Because if you go too hard, you're going to put your
stresses your body
levels up. And oh my goodness, if I hear anyone tell me fuck cardio one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. Cardio is not the enemy. Cardio does not make your PCOS bad. Cardio is not keeping you fat. Strength training is important. You want to build muscle. Muscle is great. Muscle burns fat. Muscle's awesome. If you want to do HIIT. If that's your class, cool. If you want to lift slow, lift high weight slowly, go for it. But this notion that you need to hold a 5-pound weight and just go really slow, and that's what PCOS needs. I spent a year following these stupid exercise routines that I kept seeing for PCOS, and I gained fucking weight. And the thing that worked before surgery, I started walking. I was
so
315
underrated.
pounds before surgery. I was obese. I was morbidly obese. I was huge. I've lost weight once in my life before. I was 195 pounds from walking. I
It's
didn't go
so
to the gym.
underrated.
I didn't do HIIT classes. I literally walked twice a day to and from my job in Toronto. I walked 30 minutes to catch my bus, caught my bus, walked 30 minutes home after I got off my bus, and I dropped an enormous amount of weight. After bariatric surgery, which is a tool, it's not a magic device, I walk 5K a day minimum. I'm getting a ton of steps in, and the walking has been great. I'm a runner now. I'm training for a 10K and a half marathon. Walking still has helped me lose more weight than running, because running makes me so hungry that I want to eat all the carbs in the world. But cardio has had one of the best impacts on my PCOS, my mental health, and my weight loss. It's helped me regulate my breathing. It's increased my heart capacity, made my heart more efficient than it's ever been. And I still strength train. I have nothing against it. But for the love of God, if I see one more PCOS account say, do not do cardio. Cardio is so bad for PCOS. It's not. That's total bullshit. Total fucking bullshit. It is not spiking your cortisol. It's not keeping you fat. It's not ruining hot take, but I'm so tired because all I see are PCOS accounts saying that cardio is the worst thing ever. And now I'm seeing like other accounts saying cardio is why you're not losing weight and you'll be fat. Like, it's a balance, folks. Our clinic has told both of us specifically 2 days of strength training and the rest needs to be cardio. They've even said you need to be moving every day. Now, it's not get out and run every day. There's a cat walking right in front of me. It's not get out and run every day.
No.
But it's 30 minutes minimum a day of walking or some sort of vigorous exercise and 2 days a week of strength training. And I hate to break it to people, but they told me Pilates does not count as strength training and neither does yoga. Because early on I tried to go, I'm doing Pilates. And they were like, doesn't count. So
good, but no.
I said, great, I'll do body pump. And they were like, you could. Yeah, absolutely. If you love it, do body pump. But also like you could just go lift heavy weights.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and my dietitian now has said the same thing to me. How much are you weight training? And I was like, I'm getting there. She's like, so you're not? And I was like, she's like, you can't just run 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So she's like,
gotta be
2 days.
It's gotta be a mix. It's gotta be a healthy mix of both. And like, I hate cardio. I hate it. But it's gotta be a mix. And walking is so flippin' underrated. And I used to have this, I used to do this boot camp with this trainer who I still to this day, I love him so much. And he used to say, and it always stuck with me, that your body recognizes movement, not exercise.
Yes.
Because I remember like I would go to these boot camps with people that were fit and I was morbidly obese and I couldn't do half of the things. And he was so great. He would come over and I remember he would put his hand on my back and he would just say, just move.
Just move.
And I'm like, what? He goes, I don't care if you can't do whatever I've told you to do at this station. Just do something.
Yeah.
And then you say your body recognizes movement, not exercise. And so I hands down prefer strength training. But cardio, like you said, even if it's just walking, that counts as cardio. And it's so underrated. It doesn't have to be HIIT. You're not gonna find me doing HIIT. There's no way in hell. I hate it. I would rather die than do HIIT. So cardio, as long as your heart rate is up, walking counts. So
oh my God,
get over it.
The hate for walking blows my, like, why people think walking doesn't count as exercise, bitch. So my mom lost an incredible amount of weight after she had kids. It was something she struggled with. Walking. She just walked every day. And now it's part of their routine as retired individuals. My mom's like, your dad and I go out for a nice walk. And it's how they maintain. My dad, who's going to be 80, does 10K a day, not at once. Yeah. But he goes for 2 walks a day. He was a runner, a hockey player. Yep. He's never had his knees replaced, his hips replaced. He's battled and won his battle against cancer. Like we owe it all to walking. Like we attribute it to, he was a drinker, a smoker. I wouldn't say he ate the best. That man probably eats 3 ice creams a goddamn day. How he's not a diabetic, I'll never know, but like, good job, Dad. But we tell him all the time, we attribute it to your walking. He plays golf. He's an avid golfer, which like love golf. And he plays with younger people because the 80, like he's 70 something, but the 70 something and 80-year-olds he plays with are all literally in the hospital too much to play with because they've had their hips replaced, their knees replaced, their shoulders replaced. Like they're not healthy people. He now plays with 60-year-olds.
That's awesome.
Because they're actually healthy. And my mom said, it's your walking, Reg. Like you getting out every day and walking twice a day, it's keeping you fit. It's letting you eat those ice creams. But like, I don't know why there's so much hate. Thanks, Mel. So much hate for walking. Early on in my bariatric journey, I just walked. I was not a runner till June of 2024, by the way. I
did
walked.
laps of the driveway.
Yeah, I did. When I got up to it, I was doing 10K on the weekend and I loved it. I put an audiobook on. I went out for an hour and a half. And the weight was just going. So with or without surgery, I can attest I lost an enormous amount of weight back in my very early 20s from just walking as well. So I stand firm in my belief that if people are telling you with PCOS not to do cardio, no, if you like spin, do spin. If you want to run, run. If you want to walk, walk. If you're just starting, walk. Walking is one of the best things. And if people tell you it's not, get rid of the account, move on, and goodbye. Walking is literally not keeping you fat. Walking is not keeping you with PCOS. This is a medical disease that is causing cysts on your ovaries, and walking is not causing that. It's not. And it is not hurting your chances of losing weight at all. So just move your body in whatever way it makes sense. But if people are telling you not to do something, it's probably not the best advice, because what I've learned from surgery, everything in moderation. Everything has a balance. Just like I can't just do cardio, I have to do strength and cardio for a well-rounded, healthy body. If I want to keep those muscles and I want to build muscle so I don't become really weak, I need to do strength training. So that's my hot take on. I hate the cardio movement. I hate it, and I don't think it's helping. I don't think it's helping you not to do cardio. I really don't.
No. I think what it comes down to at the end of the day is PCOS a medical issue? Yes.
Yes.
Is it a medical disease? Yeah. Does it make things in your life harder? Yes.
Yes.
Does it make things impossible? No.
No.
Is there a cure? No. But at the end of the day, there's lots you can do to make improvements. There's lots of things you can do to help. In terms of diet, it really comes down to clean eating. For me, at least, clean eating, lifestyle changes. I'm really trying to get the word diet out of my house and out of my mouth.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because it's not diet. A diet implies
lifestyle change.
Diets imply short term.
Yeah. And
this is life.
Diets come into the good food, bad food, which is a whole nother conversation that I don't want to get into today, because we'll be here for another hour.
I know.
But it's just, is it a medical condition? Yes. Does it make things hard? You damn well bet it does. And
it's a challenge.
Are there people who, I know, like for me, one of my big symptoms is I'm always tired. Now that is also my cortisol, but like I'll wake up and Devin will say, oh, like, good morning. How are you? Tired. He's like, you always say that. Like, because I literally wake up tired, exhausted all day, and I go to bed. So people with PCOS are not lazy.
No.
They're not trying to better themselves.
No.
But at the end of the day, there are things you can do. Like you said, move your body.
Just walk.
Lift some weights. Just walk. Just move. Yep. Lift some weights. Eat clean foods. And if you're not somebody who's planning on having surgery, vitamins, huge. And if you are not someone who's planning on having surgery, the weight will be lost. It will just be slow. I hate to say it. It's going to be tougher. It's going to be harder for you. It's going to be more work for you. It's going to be slower for you. And that was one of the reasons why, for me, it was appealing to have the surgery, because same thing. They said that it will improve your PCOS, because one of the catch-22s with PCOS is it will get better if you lose weight. But it's so hard.
It might not cure it, but it
will get better.
Yes.
But the losing weight part is the really hard part. So for me, it was, okay, I can continue to work my butt off like crazy, see results, but see them so slow, which for me was so demotivating. Yeah. And I have a lot to lose. So it was, do I want to sit here and put in all this effort for these slow results, which I know for me makes it very hard then for me to be motivated and for me to have the determination to stick with any sort of thing, right? Yep. So I can bust my butt, and it'll take me probably 2+, let's be honest, more than 2 years probably to lose the amount of weight I need to lose. Yep. Or I can have this surgery, drop the weight shit ton faster, which to me was like, why would I not want to put myself and my body in the best position possible as fast as possible?
100%.
and feel better and not be so tired all the time and not have my yada yada, right? So for me, that's what it was. Is PCOS something that is going to make it impossible for you to have a healthy life?
No,
No,
not
but
at
it
all.
does make it really freaking hard.
It's a
But
challenge.
it's not impossible.
It's like everybody is running a race. Everybody's running the same 200 meters. You have to carry a boulder with you while
Just
running
walking
that
in the back.
200 meters. So not impossible, but harder. You're going to be slower. You're more tired. Sorry, I have animals in here. You're more tired, and it feels unfair because, well, they get to run without the boulder. They do, and that's shitty. But if you push through, eventually losing weight will help. And I know you don't want to hear that, but don't discredit your doctor or stop seeing your doctor because they mention weight. I know I mentioned it at the beginning and I kind of rolled my eyes because that's how I felt when I was
Hard to
obese. Like,
hear.
stop talking about my weight. They're not wrong. My mom always says this. Losing weight just means your body has to work less hard to fuel and run your body. Okay, it is not something that doctors say to be mean because they think you need to be skinny or look better.
Right.
It has nothing to do with your looks. They're saying if your body even lost 10 more pounds, it would function more efficiently. Your organs wouldn't have to work as hard. Your joints wouldn't be as sore. You might not be as tired. Walking might not be as hard. So losing weight has helped. If it was impossible to lose weight with PCOS, then Steph and I wouldn't be losing weight.
Right.
I've lost over 150 pounds. Steph's lost over 50 pounds. Like,
62.
it's doable. Now, surgery gave us the tool to just eat less because eating less causes you to lose weight. So it helped us get lower. And because we're lower, I can say 2 years out, I have regular periods. I have totally normal energy levels. I'm not waking up tired or falling asleep in the middle of the day. And things feel so much better than they were.
Yeah.
They're under control. I don't have cravings like I used to. I don't have any of the symptoms I had before, and I have, regular cycles that I could set my watch to. So it has immensely helped, but you
That
don't need
alone.
surgery to do this.
No.
There's lots of people who've done it without. You have to look at your diet. And I know it's tough because you're tired and you don't want to move and you're dealing with a lot of shitty symptoms, but you have to look at your diet. And unfortunately, you have to say, I have a medical issue. That means I don't get to just eat what I want to eat. I really got to watch the sugar and probably cut the sugar out. I got to really look at my carbs as well. You don't have to be keto, but like just look at how many carbs you're maybe eating in a day. Switch to high protein. High protein is not boring. There's a lot you can do, but switch to high protein. Don't listen about the keto this or, take this drug or drink spearmint tea. Like, eat clean, eat clean, eat in a calorie deficit, not a major one. We're talking like maybe 200 calorie deficit, and then just walk. And it's tough. But when you wake up and you go, I'm tired and I don't want to move, there was a great quote that helped me at the beginning of surgery that was basically like, don't make up your decision to exercise or move or whatever until you start moving. So you can't sit in your house and go, no, I'm too tired and I don't want to do it. You can make that decision when you put one foot in front of the other out the door and move for a few minutes. And if you then decide, I can't do this, that's fine. But you have to be in motion to then make the decision, should I stay in motion or should I not? Because you'll always convince yourself you're too tired till you get going. And that's why I vote, just try walking. And I'm not saying walk 5K or 10K. Walk for 10 minutes and go back in. Okay.
Walk around the block.
But don't make that decision until you're physically dressed with your shoes on and out the door. And then you can make the decision if you're too tired and you don't want to do this. Don't let the tired you make that decision, because exercise actually, I know you're not going to want to hear it, it can help make you feel a bit more energized.
It gives you more energy.
Yep.
It actually does. And like I said, if you physically can't, like Hannah said, if you put your stuff on and you get out that door and you get halfway down the street and you just can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what? You tried, you put the effort in, and
more than a lot of
something
people.
is better than nothing, right?
Correct.
Progress over perfection, guys. That's what it boils down to. And like after surgery, I literally would just do laps of my driveway for 5-10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And then build up. And then I went back to the gym and now I'm back to workouts and stuff. But it's that the hardest part is that first couple minutes. And then once you get into it, you're good. And honest, and I tell myself this all the time, because before surgery, I was getting up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym every morning.
Oh.
And then part of it was a winter hit. And it became, am I getting up at 5 a.m. to go brush? Now, where I live, we have a lot of snow. So am I getting up at 5 a.m. to go brush the 10 centimeters of snow off the truck, let it heat up, and then go to the gym?
Nope.
Hard pass.
Nope.
So have I been doing my 5 a.m. gyms? No. Do I need to get back into it? Yeah. I've been doing lunchtime workouts because I work from home, which is great.
Yeah.
But I have to keep reminding myself how much better I feel after the workout, even during the workout. And my entire day is just so much better. I'm less stressed. I'm less irritable.
Yes.
I have more energy.
Yep.
And for me, the big part is if I wake up with my kids, I'm so grouchy. I'm irritable. I'm grouchy. I yell at them. I'm angry. If I get a workout in and then deal with my kids, I'm like a totally different mom. It does so much for your even honest guys, like even a walk, it's not only for your body, but for your mental health.
Clears my head.
So good for you. And so, I think because people think if you're walking, you're not sweating and you're not out of breath and you're not panting.
You don't have
because people have it in their mind that unless you're out of breath, you feel like you're going to throw up and you're drenched in sweat, you didn't work out, which is total BS. True. It's total BS. So start with small, achievable goals. Don't, like Anna said, small calorie deficits here. We're not talking 1,000 calorie deficits.
Won't succeed.
No. Set yourself up to succeed one little goal at a time.
Yes.
And you will get there. You will get there. It's not easy. And surgery's not easy. Dealing with PCOS isn't easy, but it's doable.
You can do it.
You just have to be patient, which
it's
anyone who knows me and hears me say you have to be patient is going to
have to be patient
because I have none.
You're not alone. You can do this. It's not going to be easy because that is the medical disease you've been handed is a challenge, but it's not an impossible challenge. It literally isn't. Don't let it become your crutch and convince you that there's nothing you can do, which we all did before surgery was, PCOS. That's not what it is. Okay. It's a challenge. And then I'll end on Steph is right. Don't try to do it all at once either. Don't try to be like, well, I'm going to walk 5 days a week and I'm going to do this and I'm going to be in a calorie deficit and I'm going to go to bed at this time. No.
You will fail.
Start small. And maybe that small goal is I'm just going to try to walk 3 days a week. And until that becomes easy and not a massive challenge, then go, okay, now I want to look at what I'm eating. And maybe I need to cut my sugar down to 40 grams a day instead of what it's at currently. Or maybe the goal is I'm just going to start looking at what I eat every day and then make an analysis on what maybe I could change. Because the one thing I didn't realize before was that what I thought I was eating versus what I then tracked was not even a little bit bad. It was drastically underestimating the sugar, the carbs, the calories, the
protein.
Yeah, the protein. So again, start small, start slow. We're going to have lots of podcast episodes that'll help you with things like this. Our next episode is going to be about what we eat in a day, what our macros are like what eating and recipes look like. So that will be a great one to help anybody that's, now at that stage of changing their life where they want to look at
where do I start?
What they eat. So this was a good episode where we just needed to talk about PCOS and PCOS and just let you guys know we've been there. We know the challenge. You're definitely not alone. Surgery is a remarkable tool to help with this if you're thinking about it, but you can definitely do it without it as well. It's just slower, but surgery helps, improves things drastically, and I would give it a big thumbs up if you're thinking about it while having PCOS.
I've already seen a lot of women. Really I know
we're running so over, but a lot of women who have PCOS that have had surgery have successfully gotten pregnant a year after. I apologize about the noise in my room.
I finally had my first normal cycle in 2 years. Finally.
Yeah.
I had my chin hairs today, but they've gone down. Yeah, they've gone down. My joints have gone down. My blood pressure has gone down. Yeah. My bloating has gone down. It's already, I'm only 3.5-ish months out.
Wait
and
till
I'm
you're
already seeing exactly just the fact that I had a normal cycle. That alone is to me massive.
I could if I wanted. I went from being told you probably just are not going to be able to conceive children to hey, you better be careful.
Right.
So yeah. But our next episode is going to be about diets and macros and other things. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. And we will chat with you guys next week. Subscribe, please rate and review if you like it. We want to hear from you. We love all the new listeners we have. Let us know what you think about the episode. But thanks for coming along on the PCOS journey this week.
Love it. We will see you. We'll
See you next Monday.
next week.
Bye, Steph.
Bye, Hannah.